sorry. That was your line.
Yuna!
Yes, sir! Oh no!
Albert!
You know, I've always found it kind of weird that they just totally throw in there instantly like, oh, okay, there's a Guado tradition that means you have to split up from Yuna now. And indeed, if we press triangle, you will notice now Yuna is completely gone through our party. This is something I noticed on my test file, but actually I find really funny considering this only happens for like a very short period of time that you can look at your screen like this, like we're about to go into a boss fight. Also, for the record, you know how I told you guys after the Spheramorph you can return anywhere you like? Now is your last opportunity. If I follow this red arrow, that's it. Until the end of the game, you cannot re-explore the rest of Spira. So be aware of that. Things are going to get locked off again. This is your last moment. You would do it, but without Yuna if you just triggered that cutscene. So, anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to another video. This is a totally new recording session of mine. I spent a lot of time looking up things for the next few episodes. There's plenty to learn about. And I did a tiny bit of prep too. A bunch of my characters have learned some new abilities, which hopefully I'll go through with you guys very shortly. And yeah, well, the main thing I wanted to talk about before we would go and run and try and deal with these out bed is look at overdrive modes. I did something kind of cool with Kamari here. These are his overdrives that he's learned we've seen so far. I don't think we've missed any, even though there is a space here. We actually haven't missed anything to the best of my understanding, so don't worry about that. That's not a big deal. But over on the modes, I did something cool. You'll notice Kamari's got quite a few. My original plan was to give him loner so that between episodes I could quickly get his overdrive up and we could show off some more of his things because he's got such a variety. But as I was doing it, I looked online at the different overdrive modes and I found one that looked really cool called Dancer. Dancer is not something I got the entire time through my test file, and I don't really ever remember having it when I was younger playing the game either. This charges when the character evades an attack. And you know how I told you guys that to learn different modes, different characters take different times. So Auron would take like 1,000 fleas of a battle before he learned the Flea overdrive mode, while Riku can get it much quicker. Well, one area that Kamari learns an overdrive way quicker than other people in overdrive mode is Dancer. All the other characters need like hundreds of evades before they learn it, but Kamari only needs like 70 less than the next closest person. So it's like it's almost like an overdrive mode specifically for Kamari, which I thought was really cool and fitting to teach it to him, especially considering we're putting Kamari down Lulu's Sphere Grid path, which, what do you know, has a bunch of evasion. So we're going to equip him with that, and yeah, that was just something cool that I did. As I say, everyone's learned a bunch of stuff. Let's just run through and save Yuna. Wow, we got an encounter. Amazing. In those 2 steps. Brilliant. Okay, you will notice a bunch of my characters have got lightning stuff equipped on them right now. That is because of some of the upcoming things. I guess I can show off one of the new abilities that we've got before I flee from this battle, and that's Slow. I don't think I've cast that on anything just yet. Slow is the opposite of Haste. You get to use it on enemies. So we cast it. You see how that Dingo Monster C is going to have a turn pretty soon? We cast it on it, and it will slow him down, and then he won't get a turn for ages, so we can actually finish the fight. Anyway, so Wack has not got his TKO equipped. It's because I'm anticipating a boss fight here, and you can't usually instantly shatter petrify boss encounters, so you may as well equip him with something better, and that's what I've done here. Alright, anyway, we'll finish this encounter. What a crappy start to an episode. Another thing also, I was just doing some reading about the game, just the Final Fantasy series in general. And one kind of fun thing that I read about was why everyone can breathe underwater. Apparently the official Ultimania tells everyone that it's because of fireflies, which is basically a huge Deus Ex Machina. But yeah, it's nearly always, oh hey, it's fireflies, it's fireflies. But yeah, so magic explains the reason.
Stand back.
Thank you. Lady Yuna. Riku! Tu den danvana un wikadrek!
If you're quite sharp here, you can probably translate the albed as it's coming. It looks like this guy, I'll do it on the fly. It says, don't interfere of, or with something blah blah blah. With this, maybe? Oh my god. just like flashing all of its weapons at us. Something about magic and aeons being sealed.
Translation?
He's gonna use an anti-magic field on us.
Get them. And so yeah, this is the crawler. You might have actually recognised that Albed that was talking to us on the hill from somewhere else in the LP. If you've been playing a lot of Blitzball, you might have recognised him too. So, this thing flying in the air is called a negator, and this disables all magic and summoning. Now, I think I cut it in the end. When we were on the Mi'ihen High Road, I waffled about all this stuff to do with Final Fantasy X2 for ages and eventually cut it out, right? But basically, what I explained back then is in X2, you see this enemy, this negator. In X2, the entire way through the game, you've got a really low chance on the random encounters to have one of these machines flying around watching you. And it's actually a really cool mechanic that they do there where when you're in those fights, any like abilities you use with that like thing watching you, it means that those abilities are less effective and more difficult in an optional super boss at the end of the game. So the entire way through playing, you got to watch out for these things and decide whether you want to ignore them and not worry about the super boss or maybe deal with them. It's really cool. But here it's just a negator, and as you can see at the top, it's in the help bar, it says that this thing disables magic and summoning, attacking it with items and Whacker's Ball. Oh no, it just says to attack them. So basically range stuff. Obviously because you can't cast magic, right? So that's like your options, Riku thrown items and Whacker's Ball. Now here's the thing, there's two ways to do this fight. If we kill this, then yes, we can use magic and aeons again, but then so can this thing. And this thing will use a very big, dangerous attack. So you've got to decide, what do you want to go for? I am going to destroy this. First of all, though, we're going to bring Auron in. This is an armored enemy, the main one. So we are going to cast... I don't have it on me. Wow. See, Auron's clearly underleveled. There's another break ability called Armor Break that he should have had by now, seriously, which would have allowed us to do more damage with physical attacks to this thing. But since he's not got it, whatever. You notice all my characters have got lightning stuff on. Auron even has one, so we'll attack. This means we're all going to be doing extra damage. He's immune to Power Break. This boss, okay, is weak to lightning. Oh, look, Auron just learned a new mode. He's weak to lightning. He's weak to Armor Break, which we don't have, and also Delay Attack and Slow, which Tidus can cast. So we'll worry about that in a second. Here we've got Whacker. Let's go with an attack reels. Will I get it properly this time? Oh my god. All right, 1. No! Why am I so bad while recording? God damn it. Okay, 4 hits again. It's so... Okay, this is the difference between 4 and 12 hits. It's crazy. Alright, anyway, we did more than a regular attack. Lulu's kind of stuffed right now. She can't even cast any black magic, right? So we may as well just swap her out. She's got a Death Strike weapon that's not even going to do very much. Let's bring Kamari in. Has his overdrive available. So let's have him cast... actually, let's not have him do anything. I want his overdrive for a future fight that's not too short away. So instead, what I guess we'll do is we will... I mean, he can lance at this. It is magic, but it's special, so he's available. So he can do damage. 200 damage there as well. Because his magic power is getting stronger, that's making Lancet stronger. And again, you know I was talking about the solo Kamari challenge? Think about Lancet too, like, he's constantly on max MP, constantly doing awesome. So, and another Lancet. And one more attack from Whacker's Ball should kill it. Now, this is going to open up the fight in a big way. He got a crit too, that was awesome. So,
Lou, cast your spells now!
That's so Mana Beam now comes up in 3 turns. So here's what happens. In 3 turns, this boss is going to cast a giant massive nuke attack on us that will do insane damage. But if we try it, but you can stop that from happening by casting magic on him. So let's go with Thundara. One of the new abilities Lulu learned recently was Bio, but because he's a machine, it won't do anything. But because we cast magic there, I think he just countered. Did he counter? Was that all he did? I was under the impression that because you cast magic, the negator would respawn, but it didn't happen there, so I'm pretty happy. We can have Kamari do the same thing here. There is no, like, electric Ronso Rage, so, like, there's a water one, obviously water breath, there's fire breath, and nothing else. So anyway, these assaults are doing massive, massive damage on us. Let's bring Tidus in. And let's cast Slow on the boss. The name of the game here is to give us as many turns as possible and him as few turns as possible. Now, yes, he's countering, but if we have more turns, then we get more opportunity to, you know, actually deal with it. So we'll bring Yuna in. She won't do any damage, but she'll keep Kamari in the game. So there we go. We'll nice raise him up there, and then we will haste Tidus so that he can start hasting everyone else. Standard boss procedure. I really think the time spells are a little bit overpowered in this game. I really do. But yeah, okay, so that's fine. You'll notice, obviously, this is an enemy we can scan too, so we can see how much health he's got. 16,000. It's funny because we've come so far in the plot, but if you think about it, like story-wise, statistic-wise, we haven't actually changed that much. I mean, the Chocobo Eater back on the Mihen High Road had 10,000 health. This guy's only got 16. But I guess these are, you know, they're more complicated battles, so we don't have to worry too much. By casting Haste and Kamari there, we can give him another go before the boss has a turn. We can cure him again with Yuna. And then we can haste Yuna also. I hope I can cancel this mana beam. And I don't want Lulu out, frankly, because she's too low right now. So we'll do another one here. There you go. So now the negators came back out, right? Which disables all magic and summoning. And now the mana beam won't go off because it's magic, right? So that's fine. Now we can bring, who hasn't had a go? Riku hasn't had a go. So let's have her steal from it. Something really fun about this boss, if you want to do it, you know how all enemies drop different equipment? And now because we've got all the haste and stuff going, we can just start spamming delay attack on the boss. And look how long before he gets another go. Look at that. It's crazy. And because the negator's up, I don't think he can counter right now. We'll see. Yeah, he can't. So the only piece of the puzzle we don't have now is the fact that I can't armor break him. If I could have armor broken him, we'd be doing crazy damage right now because every single hit would just be, you know, bypassing a lot of his defense. But look, we can go another delay attack. So now it's just sort of a spam him down to a certain threshold of health. Do I really want Kamari as one of my front liners? I guess Waka would probably do more damage because he's got lightning and he's been building a bit of strength. No, he doesn't. Look at that. Kamari's just like really hybrid right now. That's awesome. Anyway, enemies drop equipment, as you know, and the boss will finally get a turn in a second. This guy will drop a lot of generic, like, basically stuff that's like, okay, fire strike, ice strike, lightning strike, things we don't really care about. But if you you've got a low chance, or I guess it might be an equal chance, but because there's so many things in his loot table, you've got a chance for him to drop something with alchemy on it. Now, alchemy is an auto ability that can appear on gear that doubles the effectiveness of items. So the mana beam was interrupted there.
Stupid Machina. They sealed their magic away too.
Yeah, okay, Waka, sure. So, and we'll just keep going with the delay attacks until Tidus runs out of MP, basically. So it doubles the effectiveness of a lot of this stuff. So a high potion usually heals for 1,000. Now would be healing for 2,000. And even better than that, a Phoenix Down usually heals someone. It revives them and puts them at half health. Well, if you have alchemy on and you throw a Phoenix Down, it will a regular Phoenix Down will revive someone at 100% health, which is really strong. Tidus just got his overdrive, so let's just use it right here. Because I don't intend to get the overkill with Tidus anyway. There we go. He's still not learned his new one. What is this? On my test file, he learned it at pretty much the exact same time as Auron, and it was just like all beautiful and sweet. Auron's new overdrive I get to demo to you guys later as well. He needs to actually take damage for it to charge the whole way though, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, alchemy's great, and if you want to keep repeating this fight specifically for alchemy, then obviously you can be my guest. I know I repeated it a couple of times on my test file. I'm not sure why I did. Oh, I know why. Because the scene after this battle has a lot to do with affection mechanics. There we go. Auron's overdrive is now up. So he's got something called Shooting Star. You know how Dragon Fang had delay on it, but up in the help box it never actually told us that it had delay? Shooting Star also has a hidden effect. It's another status in the game called Eject. Now, Eject is amazing. I'll show you guys that later when it's really relevant in a later fight. But yeah, so for now, we'll just attack like so. And we'll keep going with the delay attacks. So yeah, after this, we're going to have a scene. We'll watch it the whole way through. Whatever character is with me is whatever character is with me. Then once it's over, I will repeat the scene for you guys with different affections. And the scene is significantly different depending on which players like you most. Characters like you most, so that's pretty cool. Alright, his health's coming down to around 3k here. When I get him to 2k, I mean, this is taking so much longer than it otherwise would have. When I get him to 2k, I will bring in Yuna for a summon of Ixion, who I have charged her overdrive, and that should be our kill. So, of course, what we need to do, though, is deal with the Negator. So there you go, he's at 2,000 health now. Who was the other guy? So Kimahri can lance it, so we'll bring that in. And, yeah, Riku can... I haven't thrown barely any items in this entire series, have I? Alright, he's using another Gatling gun, that's fine. I really don't mind that. Alright, let's bring Riku in and have her use... it's weird because these are items that cast magic, so you can get around it. So I could throw a bomb core, which would basically be casting fire magic on it. Or a lightning marble, which would be doing lightning damage to it. Now you notice that the Negator is resistant to all elements except lightning, so we'll do that. There you go, 900 damage, it's not bad. Oh, it's dead already. Oh, wow, no, that's amazing, isn't it? Because he only had 1,000 health. Alright, now that that's gone, Mana Beam's going to start getting charged, but it doesn't matter because we'll bring Yuna in, who will summon Ixion. Now, if you get caught by the Mana Beam, it is a very, very big nuke. Your best opportunity for surviving is either defending with Triangle, or you can try to summon an Aeon to take the brunt of the attack. Here we go, finally, a Thor's Hammer. I think this is the first time I've used it in the LP, so enjoy. Quite similar to Ifrit's one, actually, if you think about it. And look at that, that almost did 10,000 damage. See how I hit 99999 before? If I'd armor broke that enemy, then it would have done the same. So I played very conservatively there. But it's been destroyed! And it's like I was saying at the start of this video, Yuna leaves your party for that one tiny bit where you can't see her by pressing triangle. And now in this fight, she's back in your party again straight away. It's ridiculous. Oh, also, before we move on with the story, and I'm going to get swamped by other stuff to say, I did want to make a clarification about something I said in a previous episode, and that was that you could make Kimahri use Provoke to force him to talk in battles. Provoke actually isn't the skill, it's a different skill called Threaten, and we've not unlocked that yet, so don't worry about it, but that was the skill. Someone left a comment and it made me realise. So yeah, there we go. Loads of sphere levels from that. We get 2 elixirs, 2 potions. I don't know why we got 2 extra potions from that. That's pretty good. And we got a sword called Lifesaver. Because it's got called Lifesaver, I actually think that's an alchemy sword, which is pretty cool.
Milady.
Riku! Ich fem dan vidran.
I will something.
Aistra guardian of Yuna. Wika? Yuna kva. Fafem kintran. Krak kva.
We two drek je moha kekten.
I told him I was a guardian. Well, I guess I had to, really.
How come you speak out bed? Why?
Well,
Because I'm Albed, and that was my brother.
You knew? Why didn't you tell me?
we knew you'd be upset.
This is great. I can't believe I've been traveling with an Albed, a heathen.
You're wrong. We have nothing against Yevon.
But you Albed used the forbidden machina. You know what that means? Sin was born because people use machina.
You got proof? Show me proof.
It's in Yevon's teaching. Well, not that you know.
That's not good enough. Yevon says this, Yevon says that. Can't you think for yourself?
Well, then you tell me. Where did sin come from, huh?
I don't know.
You badmouth Yevon, and that's all you can come up with.
But that doesn't mean you should do whatever they say without thinking. Nothing will ever change that way.
Nothing has to change.
You want sin to keep coming back? There might be a way to stop it, you know?
Sin will be gone once we atone for our past mistakes.
When? How?
If we keep faith in Yevon's teachings, it will be gone one day.
Why do I even bother?
Riku. Will this move?
Yes!
We're not using that, are we? Wait. Sir Aron isn't Albed too, is he?
Come on, Waka.
What?
I mean, getting angry just because you found out Riku's in Albed. You guys got along fine till now, didn't you?
That's different. I mean,
Well, I don't claim to know that much about Spira. And I probably know even less about the Albed, but I know Riku's a good person. She's just Riku.
Lou?
Just think of this as an opportunity to learn more about the Albed.
Ha!
Let him go. Give him time to think.
I'm sorry.
You've done nothing to apologize for.
Okay, I'm pausing it here because this is where the scene splits, depending on who likes you the most. Waka isn't an option because he's walked off on his own. For the record, I really like that bit of the cutscene. There's obviously a lot of subtext going on there about real-world organized religion and thinking for yourself, etc., etc. But yeah, so moving on.
All right, let's ride.
You sure you know how to drive this?
Better than Kamari does.
Kamari's amazing. Alright, so Lulu has got our vehicle with us. This means Lulu likes us most in the party. I explained this at the start of the series. It's really easy for this to be the situation. Naturally, the way that the game organizes scenes, she's just going to be the one. I would hazard 85% of all players of Final Fantasy X would see the scene I am now showing you. But I went away and in the test file and got all the recordings of the other ones by just beating the snot out of various players until the other ones liked me more. So yeah, let's go.
I hope that you're not too mad at Waka.
Hey, not at all.
Thank you.
Say, what do you think of Riku?
Me? She's fun to be with.
That all?
Well, I can tell she's not a bad person.
Yeah. You know what the problem is? She's just another Albed to Waka. Waka's head is as hard as a rock. I bet it's because of Yevon, or you know, something like that.
Well, there's more to it than that. Waka doesn't like the Albed because of his brother Chapu.
Oh, he used a Machina weapon, right? And got killed by Sin. Killed by my old man. Damn you, Jack.
What?
No, nothing. Hey, can someone, like a human, become Sin ever?
I can't say that I know. But why?
Just a thought.
Sin is the punishment for, and the incarnation of crimes we have committed.
So no one really knows what it is.
There's no need to know, so no one asks. You run or you fight. That is really all you can do. There's no sense brooding over it.
What, that's all? I mean, you don't even wonder?
You really do come from a world where there is no sin, like you say.
So they throw in a little bit of the Jekt stuff there. It's funny because a lot of the scenes you're about to see do actually touch on some rather heavy plot lines. And in fact, I'm not going to show you guys the Riku scene until later on in the LP because I think it really throws the pacing of the narrative off. So we will be seeing it, don't worry, but just later. Anyway, so that's the end of the scene. We have a chest, but I will see you guys in a moment after we've watched all the other ones.
Better than Kamari does. Say, what do you think about Riku being an Al Bhed?
Ronso are followers of Yevon. Ronso dislike Albed,
Oh, I get it.
not Kimari. Albed are Albed. Riku is Riku. Riku swore to protect Yuna, and Riku is not a liar. Kimari can tell, so she is a friend.
You know, you might want to tell her that later. I think she needs to know that we still want her with us.
Kimari is surprised.
Why?
Kimari think you are kind.
Don't tell anyone, okay? Better than Kimari does. You're no fun to ride with at all.
What?
I'll take Kimari over you any day.
Just don't do anything rash.
What's that mean?
I'm saying you should not complicate matters, or you'll find yourself trapped. Understand?
I don't need you to tell me that. I guess there's some sense in what you're saying.
Make mistakes.
Huh?
That's what youth is for, after all. Do not waste it.
So which is it?
Okay, we're back. Hello, everyone. For you, it would have been ages. For me, it was like literally half a second. So yeah, what I really like, from what I can remember of these scenes, right, I haven't seen them for a while, but I really liked that with the Kimari one, who's like the hardest one to get it with. Kimari just doesn't like you much, and there's not much opportunity to make him like you. When I tried to unlock that scene on my test file, I had to beat the snot out of everyone else before Kimari liked me the most. And in that scene, Kimari's even like, hey, I think you are a nice guy. That basically just suggests everyone hates you, I hate you the least. And that's exactly what I did in the gameplay. I love it. And I like how, you know, if neither of the girls like you, they decide to ride together. I like that you see that Lulu and Auron choose to ride together. Like, you never really see that much interaction between those two, but they clearly like each other. They go off. You know, I think that they share similar sensibilities. But yeah, so from this point, you can actually walk back along the road we were just on. There won't be anything here except enemies. These are basically to serve as a place for you to... Let's just flee from this. These are basically here to help you train up if you want for later stuff in the story. So, and later we will be walking along this path, so you don't have to do it straight away. Obviously, Yuna's not with us right now, so we can't really heal very convincingly. Don't worry though, because there should be a save sphere just ahead. I was sure that Riku had learned a new ability. Apparently I got here, but I didn't activate it because I'm a moron. The ability is called Spare Change, as you can see right there. So we will go into a fight. Come on, here we go. Now, Spare Change, it's a common thing in Final Fantasy games. Basically, you throw money at enemies to damage them. Attack by throwing gil. This is literally throwing gil away. So let's throw 8,000 gil away at this flan here, okay? Now, it's typeless damage, so whatever you do, it's gonna basically hit that amount of damage, I think, or a multiplier. So 8,000 gil became 800 damage. So you'd have to throw away 80,000 gil to hit someone with 8,000 damage. It's a huge waste of cash. Never use it. The only reason I've ever heard anyone using it is so that they can drop, like later on in the game when you're against really difficult bosses. I keep trying to find Yuna, but she's not there. Against really difficult bosses later on in the game, you can, in theory, use Spare Change to set their health to like 1 and then allow like Yuna to get the last hit just because it's more satisfying for you that way. I probably won't be doing that, but yeah. So, this is Macalania Temple. God, we heard about this a long time ago. Last temple we were at was Jose. Jeez. There's a woman sitting here. She's an Al Bhed. She says something gang. she says, here you go, and she gives us 400 gil, so that's going to recoup a little bit of our loss from a second ago. She's actually a Blitzball player. Her name's Yuna. From what I can see of her stats here, she is a defender, just because she's got high block, high endurance. She's got high shoot too, so, you know, it's up to you. Maybe some kind of midfielder. Anyway, she's actually a reasonable player, and the reason I mention her now is that where we currently are stood is a lot like Besaid, right? Once you've been here once, you don't get to come back till the end of the game, and then it's being defended by a particularly difficult encounter. So if you want to sign her, this is like your opportunity. So sign her now, or, you know, live in peace with the fact that you didn't. I'm not going to. All the way down there in the background, you can actually see that is playable terrain over there. You don't see this often in Final Fantasy X, but that is playable terrain miles away. This game doesn't have that many dungeons, but the one big dungeon at the end of the game has a scene very similar to this, where you're running in a giant circle and you can see stuff in the distance, except the scale is much bigger. But here you can see it's all very icy, and it sort of looks like there's a roof above us, suggesting this is a temple resting under the surface of a lake somehow. You can see a bunch of our party members over here, stood at the entrance of the temple, no doubt waiting for us. A save sphere will appear where I'm currently stood in just a moment. I'm not in control anymore.
Halt! The likes of her are not welcome in this hallowed place.
She is a guardian.
An Al Bhed? A guardian? Preposterous.
I've decided to be Yuna's guardian now. And that's all I want.
And that's all one needs to be a guardian.
Very well.
I like how they're so flippant about that with Riku. You notice how Wakka stops to pray. Really nice little touch. I really enjoy that. You can't speak to him. The monk prays back to him there, of course. And then we can head in. I like how they're so flippant about it here.
I will hold you personally responsible if anything happens.
Yeah, no worries. Hold me responsible. And at the start of the game, there was all this hoo-ha about us becoming a guardian.
I will hold
Alright, sure. He just leaps dialogue. So let's head into the temple. Should be some familiar faces here. Here's Trommel straight away.
Ah, Lady Yuna's guardians. I haven't thanked you for your help earlier. Thanks to you, I was able to bring Lady Yuna here safely. You have my sincerest gratitude.
Not a problem.
It isn't much, but I want you to have this.
So that's a shell targe. This is actually useful for some upcoming content, so you may want to equip it. Oh, sorry, that's a Riku thing, right? So yellow with lightning ward, or we can go shell targe. SOS shell means when we are low on health, it casts shell on us, which reduces magic damage we take. My unit actually does have shell now. I took the time between episodes while I was getting like Kamari Dancer and stuff to grab that. So yes, I do now have that available to me. Anyway, so there we go. We will save in that sphere.
Ah, there you are. So, Lady Yuna is getting married. You shouldn't kid around about these things.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're not happy?
Nah, it's complicated. Say, do you know where Yuna is?
I believe she's gone to the Cloister of Trials with Maester Seymour.
Oh, so we're running in to help him out. And the Cloister of Trials straight away. Funnily enough, it will be a little while before we go to that. I loved in the background Riku dancing with these guys. Here's Bora. He says, this is the drummer who says, "Hey, this place is just like mine. It's damp and cold and makes me sleepy." They're very musical, so I'm giving them a musical voice. We'd better start the wedding before I get too sleepy. Amazing. Hey, no, he already said that. And this one, we're the life of the party. It's our job to be happy and merry. Join us. Oh, she's so cute, the little chipmunk one. Alright, so there's a bunch of chests in here. Make sure you grab stuff when is possible. It's a little bit like the Jose Temple in that there's,
I will be traveling north to tell the people there the wonderful news.
Man, she just finds goals in life so easily. I envy her a little. She just seems to be wandering aimlessly around, but as she does, stuff happens, and it's like, oh yeah, now I have this to do, now I have this to do. Double X potion there, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, I got that sword, didn't I, for Tidus? I did want to have a look at that. Yeah, checking out the lifesaver with 3 slots. That'll probably sell for quite a lot too. Yeah, that means whenever Titus uses a healing item now, it's going to be twice as potent. I might even equip that over the yellow shit. Oh no, lightning steel. Oh, I don't know. Well, okay, the Avenger's really strong. One synergy I never talked about with the Avenger, by the way. Why do you guys think that the game gives Titus a sword with counterattack before anyone else? And indeed, there's another one coming up.
Lord Jyscal!
Oh.
A sphere in Lady Yuna's belongings.
Oh dear, what's that? The music's changed. Uh-oh, who's got a bad feeling about this? I'm going to go save it again. Why do you guys think that they give Titus that sword? It's because Titus is the character that gets provoked, and there is a fantastic synergy there with having Titus provoke all the enemies, and then they attack him, and they constantly get countered. It works very well. So instead of going there to whatever the hell's going on, indulge your loot hoarder side and have a look at some other stuff. So more musicians. With rank set aside like this, I believe everyone is behaving a little bit too wildly. Strip away the exterior and the devout monk is just another man, it seems. Sure. Another doggy here. Another overdrive unlocked. This one's for Ixion. I wish. There's a monk here. I can't believe Seymour's getting married. It's certainly something to celebrate. Please give this congratulatory gift to Lady Yuna. An elixir. Yeah, drink some more sake. When Seymour was first ordained a monk, he was my junior. Now look at him. He's a maester, betrothed to a summoner. I'm absolutely nothing. Wow, that got dark. I'm absolutely nothing compared to him. Dude, don't worry. Seymour doesn't flaunt his status. He's a down-to-earth gentleman. I think this is where we can get some good lore about Seymour, too. What about you? I've been protecting Seymour, Maester Seymour, since he was a wee lad. Ask me anything you want to know about... Okay, I'm not doing a drunk voice for all this stuff. Right. So, what was Seymour as a young child? Both Guado and human blood flow through Maester Seymour's veins. I love how we sit down here. We should sit down with Macon. This mixed heritage caused him a great deal of grief in his childhood. But because of that very experience, he grew to become a great leader who aspired to bring Guado and humans together in friendship. You want to know more about Maester Seymour? No? Alright, sure. What about as a young man? So, this is really some of the best history we ever get about Seymour. He has a storied life, but the game makes it difficult to learn it. So do try and absorb this, right? He had a troubled childhood because of this weird, uneasy tensions between the two races. Seymour is a young man. Lord Braska vanquished Sin when Lord Seymour was about your age. During the celebration of the Calm's arrival, Maester Micah ordained Lord Jyscal a Maester of Yevon. He praised Lord Jyscal's achievements, including the conversion of the Guado to the teachings of Yevon. See, think about this, man. How good would it be to see Jekt, Braska's, and that lot's pilgrimage? Because they weren't even in the fold here. You could have met Jyscal before he even became a Maester, seen a youngish Seymour. That'd be so good. Maester Seymour was still a young lad then, but he tried hard to assist Lord Jyscal. Sure. Do you want to know more? What about him as a monk? As a monk, Maester Seymour soon distinguished himself. His accomplishments were many and acclaimed by all. He shot up through the ranks, quickly he did. He arose high on his own, never riding Lord Jyscal's coattails. He's truly a remarkable young man. And what about as a summoner? As a summoner, Maester Seymour's strength is matchless. Yet he became a Maester of Yevon instead of undertaking the pilgrimage to battle Sin. I think he believes there's more to a summoner's duty than just destroying Sin. So I guess technically he is still a summoner. Kind of weird. Only weird flashes into his life there, but okay. Don't care to know. He says, don't you hold back now. Alright, another musician over here. Such a fine day to celebrate. The monks should let loose today. Okay, the drummer.
Did you see my cousin outside? We're always competing with each other.
Competition is good. Chest back here. Some of you will have been screaming out since you ever saw it. Little kid, come on, little kid. Wait. He says, Hick, I've been protecting, blah, blah, blah. We don't care. I want to talk to the kid. Stop running away from me, child. I'm smarter than you. I'll go the opposite direction. No, not you. There we go. Maester Seymour always smells so nice. Isn't he, Grand? He smells nice. Is that creepy? I don't know. I thought I heard a scream. I know we're celebrating Maester Seymour's marriage, but it mustn't get out of hand. There are leftovers from the banquet. Go ahead and take them with you, lad. So, here's an ether. So, all this stuff in this room you can miss if you just go to where the game asks you to. So, yeah, I really think it's worthwhile going into that little chamber there. Alright, if we try and enter the Cloister of Trials, where Yuna is, This guy says, entry is not permitted. Lady Yuna is on her way to the Cloister of Trials. Sure. Shalinda is all shaken up now.
What has happened? Is there anything I can do?
No, just go north and do your business, alright? Stop it. I liked you for a bit and now I don't like you again.
Why would the lady have such a thing?
What thing? Were you going through Yuna's belongings?
Why would the...
Oh dear, guys. Oh dear.
This may well answer a few questions.
A sphere recording.
What I am about to tell you is the unclouded truth. I swear it on my honor as a Guado. Listen to me very carefully, for I shall tell you the truth about my son Seymour. His mind is closed even to me, a maester of Yevon. But I can feel flames of darkness burning in his heart. He is using Yevon, the Guado, and even the summoners. If he is not stopped, he will surely bring destruction and chaos to Spira. I will leave this world soon, killed by my own son. But I do not fault him, because I was not wise enough. He has suffered and become twisted. I could not protect him and his mother from the world and its cruelty. I will accept death as punishment for my deeds. But whoever is watching this, I implore you to stop Seymour. Stop my son.
Oh snap.